For the next talk, we have Nico, and he talks about communication and connection.
So, hello. Can I put it up a little bit? Okay, hello together. My first question, why we should learn something about communication. I'm Nico Kraus and I have a YouTube channel about communication. And for me, it becomes like very important to do something in my life to make the world a little bit a better place. Yeah, it's not like do it all alone or at one step. It's more like do small steps in the right direction. And here I want to give you a short introduction why I think communication is a very good tool to do that. Okay, let's make a few considerations first. So there is something that I call basic assumptions. Basic assumptions plays a very big role in our life. Everyone has something like this. It's like core beliefs that you have deep in your mind, and all what you do, all conclusions you make, all decisions you take are based on this basic assumption. So that's why I think it's very important to speak about this. And I want to give you two basic assumptions that I figured out for myself. And I just want to put it here, and you have to think about it by your own if you agree or not. And the first basic assumption that I have is that everybody in the whole world have a good intention. That don't mean that everybody do the same thing. I think that's not true. It's more like the one cares a lot about himself and want to make the best for herself. And another one thinks about people in Germany and want to make the best for people in Germany. Other people want to make the best for the world, or maybe they think about animals and they are vegan and care for animals and don't want to eat meat anymore. So, like every person is different and every person do different things, but all have good intentions. And the next basic assumption that I have is that there's a lot of suffering in the world. Like, even if all people have good assumptions, it's not that all people are feeling well. There are even children in Africa that are hungry. There are dead animals like Massentierhaltung in German, and there is a lot of very bad stuff that's going on. And okay, if we take these two basic assumptions, first, all people have good intentions, and second, we have a lot of suffering, and it's even unnecessary suffering, right? It's a lot of stuff we could prevent. Like, for example, if we take the people in Africa, we have enough food in the world for everybody. It's just about how it's separated on the different countries. So if we take this both together, we see there's something went wrong, right? And I think if I break it down, it has to do a lot with awareness. We have still the topic awareness by breaking habits. I think it's a very, very, like the first step to be aware what goes wrong. And I think that's, awareness, and also it's a little bit of knowledge. Like, some people don't know something, right? And they don't know about the wars and how it is, and about religions, and that maybe people with other religions are the same people like us. And it comes down to these two things, like awareness and knowledge. And then we come back to communication, because communication is a very good tool to make people more aware and to give people knowledge. And that's why I think, we really should think about it and learn how to communicate. And it really comes down to that we are open-minded and open-hearted, and really be sure that other people have maybe just other opinions, and think about their opinions instead of insulting them because we have other opinions. And really should speak to them in a friendly way and maybe show them some new points, some new ideas, and show them new perspective. You can do that with communication. And first you have to care about yourself, to be aware what yourself do, to stay in the present moment. And then you have to develop like love and compassion with other people, so that they can be open and listen to you, and then you can share your ideas. And that's what we do today. So communication is a great tool to make the world a better place. And yeah, that was all. Thank you. Okay, you were first.
Yeah, one question regarding, well, you talked about suffering and awareness about it.
Yeah.
And you talk about communication and communicating it.
Yes.
So my question is the way of communicating sometimes wrong? Because I can consider people that I will show them a video about how someone is suffering.
Yeah.
I will try to communicate them that this is wrong, that there's something bad going on. And still the reaction of this person, now as a personal instance, would be like, well, it's horrible, I don't believe that. You know, is this I don't believe that? The problem is that we didn't communicate in the right way, or is that communication is maybe not enough?
Okay, there are two things, like everybody's different, and some people are so in her own mind and they can't believe something, so that's not every time you fold, you know what I mean? You cannot change other people's, you can just give them hints, you know, or tips or ideas. And what they do out of it, that's their own choice. Yeah? You can just give the idea. That's one thing. And the other thing is that you have a little bit influence if you dive deep into the techniques of communication and what's, for example, very important to make first a connection to the person, that you understand each other very well, you're on the same base, on a good feeling, on a good vibration, and then it's way more easy to tell him those ideas. You know what I mean? So there are things you can do, but it's not all in your hand. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, thank you. No, that's helpful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, I think you was, I'm not sure, you was faster, right? Sorry.
Just something regarding to that, because I think it's not always the way you communicate and how you communicate it, but it's, I mean, you can say or show the videos that you want, but I think it's very important if the person that you're talking to is ready to hear them.
Yeah.
And even though they might not be ready, but I think that if you communicate it right and then you show them, eventually they will go back to that information. And as you said, that's why I also think it's important to connect with the person and just to communicate as good as you can and also live by example. And I think if people see a good example and a good energy from you and a good perspective, then they will be more reactive, or how do you say, responsive, receptive to your information and the way you are communicating.
Yeah, that's totally true. And what is even more the case, that even if the person is not really ready to hear it, sometimes you can, like, planting seeds in her or his mind, and then the person is more open for further information in this direction. You know what I mean? So it's not like now the case that the people changes, but sometimes they change later, or they think about it and hear it another time from another person, and it's like a process. Yeah. Okay, Nadia.
I think what you do is particularly important nowadays, where we live in those bubbles. For example, these bubbles created by algorithms and on social media, where we are only exposed to our own opinion and therefore enforced in our own opinion. And you here standing up for something that is of value to you, I think that's really important.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, you okay.
I think the point you made actually was understanding starts communication.
Yeah.
And for example, let's take the Chinese culture. I just told you that before, didn't I? So Chinese people, they often, I'm sorry if there's someone Chinese, please hands up when I say something wrong, but they're a lot more indirect in some way. You really have to have the sense to read between the lines. And when a German person, directors like us, goes to a Chinese person and says, "Hey, why didn't you tell me? Come on," we're very much direct and very honest. I don't say that Chinese people are not honest, but we're just like that, just bam. And that might be really difficult for us. And when we start talking and asking, "Hey, why don't you give me a hug when you say goodbye, for example?" Or "Why didn't you say that?" And then through communication and understanding starts point.
Yeah. That's a good point, thank you. Okay, I think time is over.
Yeah. Thank you.